CBD can be classified amongst the world's many mysteries because of its cryptic, highly graphic form of expression. The oldest archaeological evidence of CBD dates back to 2000 BC and is believed to have been used by the Iroquois since 400 BC. One of the artists who has reimagined these ancient forms of expression is Victor Eck. An internationally renowned Nigerian artist based in Washington, D.C. For almost 3 decades long, Victor has been conceived as a more modern form of expressing his work through art.
Sorry, are you part of the organizers? Yeah, but I think that what we have on the Oculus headset and the metaverse will be very interesting to compare in our VR or virtual reality. Should I set
Nobody can play it. All of my mind. All of you. See you won't come. Amen. What you doing, bro? Amen.
And you are videoing me as I'm saying, is that Austin? Hi, Sag. Why am I not showing? Hello. How far down? Huh? I'm fine. It's been good.
Does it feel like being part of this project?
Fantastic. Wonderful. Happy that everybody gets to read the goodness inside the book.
Tell me about the experience.
Of the project?
Yeah.
Well, it's a lifelong experience. He's my father, so I don't know where to start. It's been all of my life, and I'm happy that everybody can share in the story of his life, of his work. Read the book, I'll say. It's difficult to say everything now, but just please buy the book, read the book. It's great. What? No, it's Austin. He's one of them.
finish around 4. That's what I'm saying.
It should have finished since yesterday.
So that people can take their time.
Nice meeting you.
Okay now.
After which he returned to Nigeria to take up a position as a lecturer at the Department of Theatre Arts of the University of Ibadan, the house, which started as a school of drama a position he held for 15 years. During this time, he established the New Culture Studios at Oremeji in Ibadan as his studio and as a skill acquisition finishing school. with workshops and practical training facilities for different facets of the arts. The workshops also served his architectural and design projects across the country and played host to practical training programs for professionals and students. After his sojourn in Ibadan, he returned and settled in Udumuji, Iboko, where he re-established his design studio and workshops to serve a similar role to the ones in Ibadan. Both locations serve as beacon points from which the new culture philosophy is propagated to the rest of the world. Please give a round of applause to Pa Damas Rufus Woko. Thank you.
Sorry.
Please join us to welcome Nigerian Children Cultural Dance Troupe. Obereki. Please give them another round of applause. I was looking at them trying to figure out if I could do some of the dance steps. So next we're going to do a special unveiling of the book, and I'm going to call a couple of people to join Pat Demas as he unveils his book. Titi Ogufere, Kavita, so just come forward. Yeah. Should I see? Mama Nike. Ma. Pa Bruce, Pa Frank, please join us as well.
Okay, we're excited to unveil the book, The Concrete Thinking. So we'll do a countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0! Yay!
Okay. I want to use this opportunity to congratulate our icon, our daddy, our pride, Demas Nwoko. Please
Please, everybody give him a very big hand. And then the organizer, our daughter, our triple chief, Kavita, and then DG Ogufere with our other daughter. So we thank you very much for making this possible for all the artists to be here today to witness the book launch. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so we'll just go straight into the, sorry? Reading from the book. Okay. Yes, so we have Ayodele Ariba, Ayodele, to just give us a quick.
Hello everyone, my name is Ayo Arigbabu. I'm an architect and I'm proud to identify as one of Baba's students. Dimasun Oko, or Baba as we fondly refer to him, should need no further introduction. So we might as well go straight to discussing his book. In Concrete Thinking, Dimasun Oko writes with measured language that is at once accessible and clear in intent. The clarity serves its purpose of universal understanding in pursuit of wide adoption of his ideas and recommendations. Concrete Thinking is unapologetically didactic. Dimasun Oko is a teacher and social reformer, and nowhere is this manifested as forcefully as in this book that encapsulates the cogent lines of thought validated and refined over decades. Concrete Thinking is also unapologetically repetitive. With 20 essays aggregated over 7 decades, advocating on essentially the same subjects, this repetition is as inevitable as it is intentional. Repetition, after all, is one of the key aids to learning. The repetition, however, lies in the central thesis that underpins the entire book, which each essay buttresses from different perspectives. Concrete Thinking, therefore, remains nonetheless effervescent with the author's ability as a natural storyteller to marshal his thoughts in compelling ways. What then is the central theme the book is concerned with? In my estimation, it is an amalgam of 3 main interconnected considerations that underpin Dimasun Oko's worldview and that have driven his work. In the author's words, concrete thinking, he writes, like other thought processes, is generally a creative proposition that emanates from natural wandering of the mind, which is harnessed and developed for application in real life. More often than not, most thoughts do not mature to a stage that metamorphose into actual realities because, as we will say, they are not thought through. There lies the difference between general thinking and concrete thinking, because concrete thinking is a thought process that must end in practical reality, be it physical or philosophical. This is what I refer to in my new culture philosophy as one process that amalgamates thinking and tinkering to qualify as thinking that is thought through, which generates viable human development. End of quote. In the author's characteristic manner of maintaining consistency between thought and action, he reveals, quote again, most of my essays were written to provide cultural background studies to the subject, usually delivered to my potential clients to intimate them with the idiomatic language of the project, often citing universal precedents to assure them that they are on familiar ground of cultural continuity. Example was the case with the paper Art in Religion, which preceded the Dominican Monastery project, and the search for an African theater, which gave birth to the Benin Cultural Center and my Performing Arts project. It is this approach that typifies concrete thinking. This is a thought pattern that does not end up in the realm of fantasies, but is advanced to a point at which they become physical realities. This means that a graphic design cannot metamorphose into physical existence until it is built. If thinking, end of quote, if thinking and tinkering describe two of the pillars that define Nwoko's worldview, the third would be cultural alignment. The three work tightly together, with cultural alignment defining the context within which thinking needs to happen, thinking defining what tinkering needs to happen, and tinkering in turn affecting and feeding back into cultural alignment and thinking. The three spokes keeping the wheel Demaso Nwoko aptly named New Culture spinning. Every compelling story has a central conflict, and in concrete thinking, the central conflict is made manifest in clear terms in the introduction. Quote, trouble started with the invasion of one culture on another, writes Nwoko. The colonial education system, which was situated away from the traditional home environment, thus alienated from its cultural essence, became out of reach to the entire society. It continues, end of quote. This disconnect frames the entirety of the conflict the author tries to resolve throughout the three sections of concrete thinking by advocating for culturally aligned thinking and tinkering, starting with the first chapter of the first section, which begins with a broad exploration of the dynamics of artistic production and the socio-cultural economic influences and effects thereof, from the pre-colonial to the colonial era, taking us briskly through how decorated household utensils and family totems ceded ground to touristic art as artists sought new ways to earn a living in the face of the cultural and economic upheavals that came with the colonial experience. Dimas Nwoko writes as someone who is deeply involved in the subjects he discusses, and aptly illustrates with examples from his own practice on how he approached art production within the economic, technological, and social constraints of his time and era, while staying true to his firmly held beliefs in the need for art to be primarily driven by indigenous cultural, social, and ecological dynamics. This bias rings through in subsequent chapters that dwell on art in religion, African theater, art as the driver of the national economy and national development, art in architecture and design, and children's art, undertaking fairly elaborate treatises on each subject and extolling in each chapter the need for thinking and building from first principles and as the sure bet route to self-reliance and national development. Ever critical of lost opportunities and stifled national growth that he finds traceable to the faltering early and subsequent steps in art education as symptomatic of the larger malaise that has plagued the Nigerian state, Nwoko takes a self-critical look at his own generation, acknowledging the opportunities they had, the chances they missed, and the role they played in the evolving Nigerian story. Beyond the aforementioned central conflict of cultural imperialism, concrete thinking also emphasizes the need for creative thinking to be applied in production rather than only in theoretical expressions. The aforementioned thinking and tinkering. In the author's words, if as a country we are of ancient civilization and we acquired good world education, then came the oil boom and money was no problem. Why did we fail to develop? There's an ability missing, and that missing link is applied creativity. At the tail end of his 9th decade, Dimas Nwoko has presented future generations with a comprehensive love letter in concrete thinking. The collection of essays will prove an invaluable compass to different generations of practicing artists, designers, educators, cultural policy formulators, art historians, students in the creative industries, and other culture workers desirous of charting a sustainable and impactful course with their endeavors. I therefore heartily recommend the book to one and all, even as I salute Baba for his fortitude and unwavering intellectual vision, and for standing as a bastion for all these decades for the revitalization of our creative and national spheres through solid thinking and concrete thinking and tinkering. And he is not yet done. Concrete thinking is only the first horse to bolt out of his stables, to be closely followed by his autobiography, his book of design parameters for the field of architecture and building construction, and his book on African theater production. The phenomenon called Demason Woko is a gift that keeps on giving. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ayo. That was so carefully reviewed and analyzed. We're going to take some questions now from the audience. If anyone has any questions, please just...
Well, thank you very much. I'm a son to Demason Woko and Honorable Akwaya Shonuga and Uncle Frank. I was going to ask maybe about Benga Shonuga. You know the publication, the New Culture magazines. How can one get to retrieve some of those magazines? We need to republish some of them. Because as of now, Nigerian magazine off, the New Culture magazine off. So we cannot even go back to those publications, and they were very important to our growing up. And I'm asking that question because I know that Frank Aigimokwede did a lot on Nigerian magazine, and then the New Culture magazine between yourself and Demason Woko. So is it possible? Because this book should be a natural flow from those ideas. Thank you.
Yes. Where is the microphone? Yes. The New Culture magazine is there and can be acquired. The whole 11 issues of the first volume are available to be acquired. But still in the New Culture Studio, and if you go to my website, demaswokodesigns.com, you can acquire it also. And I hope that we will revive its publication first online and then in print once more. So I'm working very hard on that. Thank you.
My name is Reverend Father Francis Chiadi OP from the Dominican Community Ibadan. We are one of the primary beneficiaries of Demason Woko's works. His work in Ibadan, Dominican Chapel, is world rated. So my question is, for the artists of today, I know sometimes the tension between addressing you as an architect and artists poses some puzzle. But the question I want to ask is, do you think philosophy has something to do with design? 1. 2, how can we relate with the new formula that is in vogue? They call disruptive solution. That is what the entrepreneurs employ today as an option of engaging a giant if you have a conflict. So even if you are not a giant, but you want to engage a giant, you may use disruptive formula. So how does this play with your understanding of architecture and art in general? Thank you.
If you go through this book, Concrete Thinking, I think I answered all aspects of this. Yeah, you can't think of design without philosophy. You can't think of philosophy without culture. So they are all, in fact, the biggest problem we have today is that we don't work from the root of a society. It's like we don't have any society now. We have been so disrupted and disorganized that really we don't have any society. And if you don't have any society, you can't really work, you can't really create, because you have to have a society where you will deposit your creativity, and a society, first of all, formulates a cultural philosophy to help them survive. And it is for this that every member of the society has to create. So I think our biggest problem today is that we haven't started really organizing our new society, society for our new country, which is paramount. Until we start doing that, I think that all our effort will be falling on proverbial on fertile ground, on rocky ground. So the roots, the seeds will never grow. So I think that we should zero, until we solve that problem, we are going nowhere.
Hello, congratulations once again for your launch. My name is Chukuma. While he was reading the speech, something caught my attention, which is the part where he said using arts as a driver for the economy. I would like to know in specific terms the message contained in this book and how it intends to use art as a driver for the economy, considering the fact that our Nigerian economy currently is in a very poor state. Then two, having been a successful person, basically an aspect of art and architecture. And if you take a look around, you see there's a lot of young people, a lot of younger generation here. So I'd like to know your message of advice to this younger generation and how they can use the message contained in this book to be able to build themselves personally. Thank you.
I have problem with this issue of younger generation and older generation. There's nothing like that. There's nothing like younger generation and older generation. In our own time, what we did is not possible today, because you will say that we were really not young generation, but baby generation at that time. You'll be surprised that most of the things we did, we were not yet 30 years old. So we weren't seeing ourselves as a younger generation. In fact, in our culture, there's nothing like younger generation and older generation. In the African culture, there's nothing like that. From my young days, you will be surprised, I was treated as equal by 70-year-old people in my town in Juboko. I will sit down with them as equal. So I don't know. And today, I think I sit down with any person, young or old, as equal. So there's no time too early or no time too late. Everybody is entitled to get involved. Our problem is the formation. Our educational system has completely collapsed. When I mean educational system, I mean education is not just going to a formal classroom. But that is what everybody thinks education is now today. That is wrong. Education is from the day you are born. There is the second book that is also, I hope, will be presented here, not physically, which is my early day autobiography, which I call The Happy Little African Prince. This book was supposed to be launched today, but we are sending out the flyers, and within a month it will be available to everybody. So we will also present it today. So you find that if you go through that book, I was never a child. I was as old then as I am today. So in African society, we have, you just get born and you go through stages in society, performing your function till the day you go. It is the Western system that divides everybody into class, into level, into, you see. So I think we should go back to that. Thank you. There is no economy without art. Zero. Because economy has to be created. And what you call art, art of this, art of that, art of this, isn't it? All activities of human being have to be crafted, has to be put together creatively. So again, if you're talking about, I don't know what to talk, economy is, okay, what is happening in our economy? When one hard-working lady starts selling garri here today, come there after 3 months, there will be 100 of them lined up in the same place selling garri. That's not economy. The economy is not buy and selling. The economy is the creative activity that engineers our evolution. And if you don't evolve, you die. So, I don't know, up to today, we are looking forward, we look up to the Western countries, the economies. But we don't look at their own educational system. The education throughout the kindergarten period in that system is all art. It's all creativity. To second school, it's all art, it's all creativity. And like in concrete thinking, my educational growth ended with the day I entered Zaria. That is, entered the university. So secondary school is virtually the end of your formal education. And art should be taught to everybody up to secondary level. Art doesn't mean that you will become an artist and you are living by painting pictures. No. It's vital to the exercise of your hands to be able to manipulate material so that it becomes functional. That is art of. So art is the, well, I don't know how to put it anymore, because you can't do without art. That is one of the reasons why we are not really progressing economically. We are not. Because we are not creating. And as you find in the book, you don't even have a place in the international platform if you don't bring your own creativity, your own product that nobody has a right to copy until you die. So if you don't bring your own creativity into the world marketplace, nobody can reckon with you. So it's the base of every economic activity. Thank you.
Lest we completely forget, someone asked a question about Nigeria Magazine. If you go to the ministry where you give birth to it, you will not get anything. We tried all sorts of things to encourage some support from the private sector. But even within the public sector we're talking about, we had problems. But if you go to the Nigerian Museum, National Museum, if you go to the Nigerian National Museum at Onikom, you'll get a fair supply of readable material. The problem is, if you go to the Department of Culture, where it started, you will not get anything. Even if you go to Jakonde, you will not get anything. But when you try Onikom, you still get a fair supply of material to read from. Thank you.
So now we're going to officially launch the book, and Mrs. Kavita Shalom is going to help us to do this.
Hello. Thank you everyone for being here. Thank you, Papa Demas, for writing all these wonderful books and giving us all your vision and your knowledge. Thank you. I'm here officially to launch the book. The paperbacks are 8,000 naira each and the hardbacks are 10,000 naira each. I'm going to donate 50 copies to secondary schools on behalf of the book. I'd like anyone else to come and pledge and buy some books.
Yes, I would like to pledge the same 50 on behalf of all the female artists in Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you, Mama. Titi. Thank you. I would like to also pledge 50 books for all my architect friends, and I see you. I've actually been asked for books already, so 50 copies for anyone who is an architect, artist friend, and also to my colleagues in the universities of Nigeria. Thank you.
Okay, I will, on behalf of Design Week Lagos, I'll also do 50 copies of the book to designers around the world, not just in Nigeria.
Hello, so I would like to pledge another 50, since 50 seems to be the number. I'll decide later who to donate it to, but first things first. And thank you, Pa Nwoko, for the beautiful book.
He says the men may want to pledge.
So the idea is that I will not say much here because for 50 years I've been exposed to the ideas and creativity of a Dimas Nwoko, and thank God he's still alive. If he dies tomorrow, many of us will kill cows and drink cartons of beer to celebrate his life. But this thinking must go around. I'm still working on some of the precepts. Even in Shimawa, Shimawa has a little new culture studio itself, where we are planning the children you saw who came here. That is, they came from the efforts that Dimas made years ago about the children of paradise at Festac, which we are all engaged in. So we want you to be able to say, I want 10 books for 10 friends, 2 books for 2 friends, please. Otherwise, the effort will be futile. So please, everybody, people from Boko, German, please step forward and let us hear responses from, the article quarters. Who will take the books? How many are you taking?
Thank you very much. Victor, well, I was just making a case there that, Kavita, thanks for donating to secondary school. I'm so impressed with the students who are here. These are design students, I guess. And I think they actually should get them. So I've written to Victor. Don't decide later, you have to decide. So, I'm not a rich man, but I have rich friends. So I've just come, and Mama, I'm coming to you. I'm not a rich man, and Abagbenga knows, I'm sure you know, sir. But what I can say is that we also, during the Lagos Book and Art Festival I have here, we're going to be presenting this book. And we'll bring our friends to do the needful. And of course, we buy for Coral Library, even though Coral is owing the bank, but we'll break the bank. Thank you very much. But I think it's a book that deserves to be. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sirs. I came in a bit late, and I'm young, and I'm not rich, but I must buy at least the paperbacks for my 3 schools. It used to be NA Staff School, one opposite MM2, but it's now FAN Staff School. That was my primary school. I'm buying 2 for them. 2 for Federal Government College, Jani King. They must have 2. Then 2 for the University of Lagos Department of Architecture Library. So 6 for me.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tosi Oshino. Unfortunately, I don't think in my case it's about the numbers, but I'm going to buy 10 copies. I'm curating the Sharjah Architecture Triennial, and I'm going to give these books to architects that work at the Triennial so that they can also learn about the work that has been done by Demas Walker in Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. The books are in the lounge right next door, so please go in there and make sure you buy 1, 2, 5, 10, 50, because that's the key number, all 100 books. So yes, the books are there. So we're going to give votes of thanks now. We're going to the end of the show. Oh, someone is beckoning on me that they would like to pledge.
Thank you very much. Let me just start by congratulating our own Dimas Moko, a man of whom we are all very proud. We're here primarily to support him. Since I was a kid, I've always known him and I've had the greatest respect in the world for him. Today, as he has put this book together, I want to donate actually 100 copies of the softback. He is an icon of Idumuduboko, so that's the place we need to start from. We need to donate 20 copies of that book to Comprehensive Secondary School Idumuduboko. Every child of that school should get a copy. I would also like to send 30 copies to St. Patrick's College, Asaba, which was my own alma mater. And then I will leave the other 50 copies to the discretion of Pat Dimas Moko to distribute it to whatever school you want to send those copies to. Congratulations, sir. Thank you. My name is Gabriel Ogwechie. I run Rain Oil Limited. Dioba Afambo Gabriel Ogwechie. Dalo, sir.
I think I should ask before I jump. Is there anyone else? Okay.
2 copies, one for myself and one for the library at Akbaruta.
Okay.
As part of our preparation to celebrate the Dominican Chapel for the 50th anniversary next year, we are going to take 50 copies. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Chibu. Chibu Nwoko. Also a phenomenal designer, following in the footsteps of her papa.
everyone. Good evening. I'm here to say thank you on behalf of our family. But before I start, I just want to say thank you to my father for being who he is, being his fearless, honest African self. This work that he's done all his life has given all of us a license to be ourselves. So please, you know, he's my father, but he's everybody's father, and I think we should take a leaf out of his book. I go in there every day to re-inspire myself and redirect myself. He's tireless, keeps going, never stops. And I ask that, you know, I say thank you, Baba, you know, for all this work that you've done for all these decades. I want to say thank you to Obagbenga Shonuga, the Fadeshewa of Shimawa, Uncle Bruce Onoropea, Uncle Frank Aigimokwede, Mama Nike Okundaye. I want to say thank you to you guys for coming here and always being around. I mean, I've known you guys all my life, and I thank you guys for being here at this moment. I want to say thank you to Madam Kavita of Art House, Goma Ibila Oblum, and Madam Titi Ogofere. You've been a member of our family for, I don't know, decades and decades, and we've been doing this together for so long. I want to say thank you, and to the entire DW team. I can't mention everybody here, but you know who you are. Thank you. I want to say thank you to everyone who's launched today, bought books for themselves, people, schools. It's really appreciated. I can't start naming names now, but I want to say thank you. And please, last but not the least, I want to say thank you to everyone who's come here today and made this occasion a success. Thank you so, so much. Thank you very much.
I want to thank everyone that has pledged, but we want to do it quickly. You know, in Nigeria, people who pledge and don't deliver. We just want it quickly. So we'll get your names quickly and just send you the bank details just quickly. You know, everyone here is strong, the people that pledged. So we'll just do it immediately. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Every day's not a holiday. My life's like a subway. Oh, I know this love don't last. Look at me, tell me what you see. Do you believe this love is true? Oh, I know this love don't last. I've come far away, see these go down the drain. I waited patiently, and this is what I get. Emotional, offending me. The whole wide world is giving in. I'm not so free to express myself.
I should bring them. Okay, I'll bring them.